Welcome to Truth Seekers Coalition. We're a group of individuals representing various ethnicities, religions, and political backgrounds who are dedicated to providing truth and transparency in the dissemination of political information from a nonpartisan perspective. I'm Eunice Russell, and in this segment of Truth Seekers entitled Politics and the California Gubernatorial Recall, we're going to briefly discuss the recall process, and then we're going to address the underlying political issues. Recall is a method by which voters can remove an elected official from office by referendum before the official's term has ended. A referendum is a general vote by voters on a single political question which has been referred to them for a direct direction. Recalls are also referred to as recall referendum, recall petition, or representative recall. The recall process begins with the circulation of a petition by the recall organizers, verification of the signatures by the election officials, and finally, public vote once the signatures are verified. There are three methods to choose a successor for a position resulting from a recall election: simultaneous elections, separate special elections, and by appointment. Simultaneous elections are held by 6 states, including California. Separate special elections are held by 9 states. Appointments are made by 5 states. The U.S. Constitution does not provide for recall of any federally elected official. Some state constitutions, however, have stated the right of their citizens to recall their member of Congress, but whether it is constitutionally legal on the federal level has not yet been ruled on by the U.S. Supreme Court. In an article appearing in the New York Times, written by Erwin Chemerinsky, Dean of the School of Law at the University of California, Berkeley, and Aaron S. Edlin, Professor of Law and Economics at Berkeley, maintain California's system for voting in a recall election should be declared unconstitutional, in that it violates the most basic principles of democracy, that the candidate that gets the most votes are elected to office, and that every voter gets an equal say in an election's outcome. In the California recall, voters will be asked 2 questions. 1, should Governor Gavin Newsom be recalled and removed from office? And question 2, if so, which candidate on the ballot should replace him? The first question is decided by a majority vote, and the second question is decided by a plurality. A plurality is when the number of votes cast for a candidate who receives more than any other candidate on the ballot but does not receive an absolute majority will win, and in this case become governor of California. Governor Newsom is not on the ballot for the second question and therefore is not able to run against the other candidates. Now here's where the problem lies. Governor Newsom can receive more votes than any other candidate and still be removed from office. This may seem unfair to the governor, but the real question is it unfair to the voters? Think of it like this. If 10 million voters cast their ballots and 4,999,000 people vote to keep Governor Newsom in office, and 5,000,001 vote to have him removed, he will be removed from office. Of the candidates running to replace Governor Newsom, the leading candidate on the ballot only has an 18% lead, which in this hypothetical would only be 1,800,000 votes, which means this candidate would win the governor's seat even though he would have received less than 20% of the popular vote. Okay, so Newsom would lose the governor's office even though he obtained the majority of the popular vote. Here in California, the recall election has been used as a backdoor for candidates who are unable to obtain the office by a majority vote. According to a Fox News report, as of July 1st, 2020, This recall election cost California taxpayers over $276 million. Californians have paid to give what seems to be an unfair advantage to an individual who could not obtain the seat in the general election by a majority of votes. We're not saying that Governor Newsom does not have a lot to answer for. We're not even saying that he shouldn't be recalled. We're merely saying that there is more going on than what is being discussed in the media, and that maybe voters should consider that and consider waiting until 2022 when Newsom's term is actually up, and then vote him out and replace him with a candidate who can receive a majority of the votes, rather than replacing him with someone who will receive less than 20% of the total popular vote. Now here's where the politics come into play. Politics is about maneuvering. It's not about being fair. Being fair is about doing what is right and in the best interest of the people. If our representatives were trying to be fair, they would have created legislation that would allow the lieutenant governor to fill the seat for the remainder of the term, which in this case is only 13 months. But this isn't about being fair. This isn't even about the California residents. This is about politics and a political power grab. Californians, ask yourself, is it unfair for a candidate who cannot obtain a majority of the popular vote to become governor? Do you know enough about the candidates running to replace Newsom? Do you think any candidate running can make any significant changes in the next 13 months remaining on this term? Is this a ploy by a group of people to get a candidate into the governor's office through the back door at the expense of the taxpayers? Has Newsom failed so badly that Californians are in imminent danger if he's not removed immediately? Governor Newsom has a number of issues he needs to answer for. And he made a really bad mistake when he attended the unmasked dinner in the middle of the COVID pandemic. But was that enough for California taxpayers to pay what will probably be well over $300 million when this thing is over to get him out of office a year before his term ends? Politicians on both sides politicize COVID and mix signals to the public. This is bigger than what party you belong to. This is about usurping the power of the voter, your power. If the majority no longer rules, who does? I'm Eunice Russell with the Truth Seekers Coalition, and thank you for watching this segment of Truth Seekers. God bless you, and never stop seeking the truth.